This month from Big Finish, we fall down a time tunnel. The third Doctor has a bit of a brain drain. There's love in the air for Torchwood, and there is somebody saying, "Hey, call me Master," because there's some inner demons and some weird vampire police and a Blake 7 audiobook. Our first release on the 4th of February is the Third Doctor Adventures Doctor Who and the Brain Drain sees a newly exiled Third Doctor before the days of Bessie travel to an imposing Scottish castle, Professor MacLeod and his son having developed a new treatment for memory loss and a possible cure for dementia. As the Third Doctor investigates for sightings of the strange mythical creatures and ghosts are unleashed in the castle's corridors, Liz and the Brigadier search for a connection just what is happening to the energy and what creature stalks the ground. So this story title is very much a homage to the target range of Doctor Who and the Autumn Invasion and Doctor Who and the Cave Monsters, and the cover being a reference to the TV comics The Zeron Invasion. The Brain Drain is co-written by Nicholas Briggs and Richard James, an experienced writer of stage plays and thriller novels. This is his Big Finish debut, and Nicholas Briggs said, "My wife had been editing one of Richard's books and said to me he writes beautifully. He also knows his old Doctor Who, and he has a very clear sense of the Third Doctor era. So I asked him for ideas of the Third Doctor stories, and he sent this one pitch, and it had something about it that I really liked. It felt like Doctor Who, but also like an old-fashioned Sunday adventure." So the Third Doctor Adventures, The Brain Drain, is out on the 4th of February.
That same week, on the 6th of February, a new series begins at Big Finish in the form of Irwin Allen's The Time Tunnel. This is a sequel series to the original TV show back in the 70s, an American-produced show, which I don't know much about, to be honest. I have vague recollections of seeing a single episode on one of those old like Forces TV or some channel or something that my grandparents were watching. This stars Sean Carlson, who you may know as Narvin in Gallifrey, and Safia Ingar from the 11th Doctor Chronicles, where she played the companion Valerie. You also have Rachel Hanshaw and Jay Riem joining the duo. Gary Russell, who produced and script edited the new series, said, "Owen Allen's The Time Tunnel had the potential to be one of the most interesting and clever of all his shows, but the story never got a resolution." And that was the launch pad for this new 2025 version. Time travel is also dangerous, as the great writer Ray Bradbury once warned, "Be careful not to tread on the butterflies."
Speaking of butterflies, we've got Love Butterflies here with Torchwood Inseparable by Helen Marshall and Malcolm Delvin, starring the Torchwood 1 team of Yvonne Hartman and Tommy as they go undercover on a couple's retreat. So something seems to be afoot there with mysterious energy signals and a whole sort of dealing with troubled lovers. And will people buy their May to December romance? And yeah, the cover's got a little bit of a crinoid energy with sort of the shrubbery tangling around Yvonne and Tommy. So we'll just have to wait and see if there is a surprise crinoid feature, because this seems to be the year of Robert Banks Stewart's creations at Big Finish.
Blake 7 returns this month with Avon, A Terrible Aspect, an audiobook written by Paul Darrow back in 1989 and read here for Big Finish Productions by Alistair Locke. Avon was a standout character of the original show, originally a supporting cast member before becoming the star in many ways, although some would argue he stole the show long before series 3. This book was written by Paul Darrow, who adored the character of Avon that he played and wanted to explore more about him, and so decided to write this little prequel. And here it is, to be experienced once more, because that original novel, it seems, isn't the easiest thing to get your hands on. So Big Finish are giving it new life and bringing it to a new audience. Producer Peter Angelides said, "The question on every fan's mind when the original TV series ended was, what happens next? So it was an unexpected treat when Paul Darrow defied our expectations by writing a prequel. And apart from Terry Nation, himself a good friend of Paul's, who better than the man who played Avon himself to reveal the character's history? When the book was first published in 1989, Terry said, "Now I know why Avon was the way he was."
Next up, we have Big Finish's original series, Vam PD, for another fantastic volume, this time volume 2, continuing from October's box set where we see vampire police sort of policing the undead, as it were. So this box set contained The Last Post by Rashina Patel and David Smith, Sunlight and Bleach by Aaron Lamont, and Dracula Bachelor by Ash Darby. Ooh. Director Ursula Burton added a lot was revealed at the end of Volume 1, and now in Volume 2, we're going to get to see these people having their own separate adventures. Each of these characters have a specific adventure that they're going on, and Magnus is really struggling with what he's learned, both personally and morally. So if you enjoyed Vamp PD Volume 1, then I'm sure you're going to be sticking your fangs right into it, because it's the season of vampires of Nosferatu, and now Big Finish's original Vampire Police series.
The year of Chris Chibnall at Big Finish continues this month with Call Me Master, Inner Demons, the first box set in this new series starring Sacha Dhawan's Master from the Jodie Whittaker era. This, alongside the recently released Fugitive Doctor Most Wanted, was originally announced all the way back in April 2022 at Big Finish Day. And here it is at last, with 3 stories: Self-Help, written by Robert Valentine, The Clockwork Swan by Georgia Cook, and The Good Life by Una McCormack. Writer Rob Valentine said, "Where Sacha's Master fits into the timeline is a deliberate mystery, so I thought it would be fun, in the context of starting a fresh series with him as our anti-hero, to embrace his identity crisis in a big way and make that the point of the story. He doesn't know where he fits in, and that's a huge source of anxiety for him." Writer Georgia Cook, meanwhile, said, "The Master has such a wonderful history of putting on personas and adopting monikers and different costumes. People tend not to notice that he's not always doing them particularly well. It's so great to add to that mythos with him hamming it up to try to portray a Poirot or Sherlock Holmes style detective." And writer Una Cormack said, "My initial pitch was that we do something similar to Mervyn Peake's novel Mr. Pie. The hero of that novel arrives on the island of Sark, where he carries out so many good deeds that he begins to sprout angel wings. I really like that idea of the Master trying to be good, but not being very good at it."
Quite an interesting month for Big Finish, and I'm going to say, I think we all know what release we're looking forward to.
Indeed. It's got to be the Brain Drain.
Oh, really? I was expecting Blake 7. But yeah, Brain Drain is definitely where it's at for February. I mean, I'd say it's a relatively quiet month for us.
Yeah, mercifully so after January, I think.
Yeah, January was chaotic with so much to listen to. So it's quite nice to have a bit of a slow month, as it were.
Time to catch up, really. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure for others, this is a bit more of a busy month, but it's more of a spread out month as well.
Yes.
While it is more, focused on things outside of Doctor Who, it's not one thing in particular getting the spotlight. Like, each release is pretty much a different show, really, / series. You got some Big Finish originals in there with Van PD. With Blake 7, you're getting an audiobook. With Time Tunnel, you're getting a brand new series. Master, you're getting a spin-off. And then, Torchwood, you're getting a continuation of a TV spin-off. So it's a good amount of variety this month. And we know where our meat and potatoes are with Big Finish. We know where our parsnips get sputtered. So it keeps things a bit on the cheaper side for us, at least. Yeah, I mean, Brain Drain, it's season 7 Doctor Who. It was always going to excite us. But
they've got such a history of getting it so right since 2021, I would say.
Yeah.
And then they've really
as soon as they started on it with the Unzal incursion in Volume 7.
And they've just capitalised on it ever since, The Annihilators being one of the best releases of 2022. And they've really got that season 7 format with sort of bite-sized episodes, so it can sustain the 7 episodes wonderfully.
Mm. But yeah,
Um,
how are you feeling about this month's other big Doctor Who release, Call Me Master?
I'm I'm a bit on the fence with it
Hmm.
because I it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. Um, really, I was expecting a bit more, I guess, more in line with like War Master in a way, but it seems a bit more missy tone from like the synopsises of them.
Yeah, it's going a bit more kooky, I suppose, is one way
Yeah,
to look at it. But there's parts of it that excite me.
the first
You
story
know,
definitely sounds quite cool.
the idea in the third story of the Master trying to do good things, but not necessarily being very good at it. I think carrying on from where Missy left off, if that really is where this incarnation fits in, because as Rob Valentine said, it's unclear exactly where the character fits in. But I think it would be nice to have almost more of an anti-hero approach where he's someone who is struggling to do good, ends up doing bad. Sometimes he just feels like doing bad.
Fighting those inner
I
demons, you
think,
know.
yeah, I think having a master struggling with that a little bit more can be a bit more interesting and set him apart from ones like Eric Roberts' master and Derek Jacobi's master, both of whom have their own series where they're just being evil, really. And as nice as that is, it sometimes feel like you're getting a bit too bogged down in the typical format of, oh, he's pretending to be nice, but he isn't. It's starting to plague the War Master a bit of late. So it'd be nice to see if this can stand out against those other Master series. Yeah, I feel like all the stories excite me equally. I can't say I'm dying to listen to it though. I think it will just be one of those ones that I'll get to when I get to, and hopefully I'll enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I ordered it when it first announced, so yeah, I've been in it from
You're locked
day
in
one.
already.
I'm locked in,
Yeah.
so yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Because I mean, I have always said that Saskatchewan's Master series excited me more than the Fugitive Doctor series. But as we got more and more details of the two, that did start to switch around a bit. So we'll see how they both land up against each other when they're both out.
Yeah, I think the Master one, I want to experience it just to know what identity it goes for, because right now it seems a bit unknown.
I hear what theme it has as well.
Yes, if that gets an original theme, that would be great.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what else they would do. They didn't give it.
Unless they use like the
Stopping.
masterful theme, but you know.
But he's not even in Masterful.
Yeah, that's it. Unless that becomes like the umbrella master theme, I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, Torchwood, you going to pick that one up? Inseparable?
No, I've not touched Torchwood 1, so
You-
I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
Yeah. You and your money are inseparable there.
That's it. That's it.
It's
I
not going to
mean,
get between you and your one true love.
you might be a different story in March. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's a story for next month.
That is.
But yeah, as for this month, let us know down in the comments below which release excites you the most. Which ones are you planning on picking up? Which ones have you already picked up if you're big on the pre-orders? Like, admittedly, we are. We do. We love a big bundle.
It becomes free by the time it comes out. You know, 'cause you order it so far in advance, it's practically free at that point. It's
In a
not.
way, no, but you can trick your mind into thinking it is. And
Yes,
at the end of the day, what's the difference?
exactly.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please comment if you feel like it. If you don't, fair enough.
All
We've all
valid.
got busy lives to live. Take care, everyone. See you next time.
Bye bye.